All right, 3, 2, 1, boom, opening shot here of an Energy Boom 101. Special report, not really, but it is a dispatch from the patch. We don't even know what number it is anymore. This is Boom U, where even though oil is now probably hovering around $47 a barrel, there's still a big boom going on, and you're going to see it unfurl as we scan the southern view of Boom U. By the way, prepare yourself. We're going to get a huge transparent barrel roll because we're expecting to get a full eclipse of the bells of Boom U striking 12. So it's going to be huge, and in that barrel roll that occurs as the bells of Boom U unfurl their toll of 12, we'll trademark that one, the toll of 12, we're going to go over the latest stories in the oil patch. And while we're waiting on that, we'll also go ahead and let you know that this is, of course, Energy Boom 101, where we drill the strata of self, frack the feelings of being, and chase the narrative. So much in all three of those statements there. And we're doing that via the oil boom, and right behind it's a green boom, and we're trying to cover that as well. And that's the big marijuana boom going on in the United States. So it's a very interesting time to be alive right now, and here at Boom U, they're doing their best to sort of keep up with it. It's a bit of a crucible of consciousness here. Got all sorts of good things. Minds are on fire here at Boom U. It's more than just a university. It's a calling, perhaps. I wouldn't go that far, but anyway, big news in the oil patch is that the big news is the long-term trend. It'll be the same news probably every day, maybe for all of 2015, which is that oil's probably going to hang somewhere between, I don't know, $30 and $50 a barrel for 2015. No one knows. That's the beauty of this game, and everyone always calls it. What we do know is that in the last 6 months, oil was somewhere around $100 a barrel. So it's been a precipitous drop, to say the least. There's all sorts of opinions as to why that's happening. The oversimplified version, which might be accurate, is that the supply is outstripping the demand in the current moment, but all sorts of other motives and thoughts and fears and bets go into placing those daily bets that create the price of oil at the end of the day that no one knows what the hell's going on. But they dedicate colleges to figuring it out, which is why we're here at Boom U. And a great article in today's Wall Street Journal, by the way. Look at this. Great newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. They just raised it to $3, kids. Rupert's really trying to spit the squeeze on the value, isn't he? I think it's still there. Got to be honest with you. Hell, you could probably pay $5 a day, and the Wall Street Journal would still be worth it. But who's to say? Don't give him any ideas. But look at this. Second, so what you do is you do this incredible deep research that requires a field of PhD students, and you go and you get a newspaper, kaboom, this is today's Wall Street Journal, and you go to the second section, which is the marketplace, kaboom, number 2. I like the lighting here. It's good lighting. See what we can't do with this thing. And then you look at this, Back to the Future, question mark. Oil replays 1980s. This is by Russell Gold. He wrote a very well-acclaimed book called The Boom. And you want to read this article because this is basically talking about the oil boom and the oil bust that happened back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I'm sure, I haven't read this article yet, but I'm sure Mr. Gold is probably going to go ahead and make some comparisons and some contrasts. So this should be very interesting to read. It's always very enlightening, very insightful. That's the beauty of the newspaper, is you can allow the news to coalesce, you know, the data, the field info to coalesce, and then and into a coherent and a content-heavy news article, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, oh shit, we're at 4 minutes and 25 seconds into it. So we didn't miss the opportunity for a 4-minute and 20-second barrel roll. We're just going to go ahead and push it into the future a little bit because we know that we get the high noon, no pun intended, bells of Boom U. So we're taking that 4-minute and 20-second barrel roll that's a contractual obligation to our sponsor of the 4-minute and 20-second barrel roll, which we'll make up here pretty. How about Privateer Holdings? Privateer Holdings, sponsor of the 4-minute and 20-second transparent barrel roll, which puts your mind through the möbius strip as you enter and exit the madness of the global energy rainbow. And the speed at which it moves, by the way, kids, the price of oil. So 6 months ago, when oil was at $100 a barrel, the boom was moved at 100 miles an hour, 100 barrels an hour. Go with that. And now that it's trading at about 47, 48 bucks a barrel, why, by golly, the boom has slowed down to 47 to 48 barrels per hour on the highway. Not as fast as you want to go. I'm down. I get it. I feel it. Not as fast as you want to go on the highway, but you're sure as hell moving. It's a hell of a lot faster than the stagecoach. So what this has to do with the price of oil, no one knows. Oh, shit. There it is. So I was explaining that we're not going to do the 4-minute and 20-second transparent barrel roll that's going to be brought to you by Privateer Holdings, because we've decided to project that into the future, buy a future contract on the 420 barrel roll to the high noon transparent barrel roll, which is what you're hearing right now. There's one, and I'm just going to stand back and let you take it in. Maybe. That was 2, so we'll see what happens here. 3 usually comes after 2. That's 4. Leave it alone. That was 6. 8. 9. 10. 11. Works every time in Vegas. 12. Here we go. Boom. There goes the barrel roll. Prepare your mind. It's passing through the Möbius strip. Everything's okay. You're just going through a Boom U barrel roll, sponsored by Privateer Holdings. And that allows us to basically wrap up the show. What do you think of that? That's the contractual obligation for the day, brought to you by GMX Resources, the finest investment bet one can make, especially when they... Did I just say especially? I should say especially. I don't even know what I should say, and I don't care. What I can tell you is that GMX declared bankruptcy on April 1st of 2013. Yes, that's April Fools. I love those bastards. The background you're hearing now are the bells of Boom U, which we call the bubble and the buzz of the boom. We've trademarked that. Privateer Holdings knows all this. It's all in the books. We're trying to get a nice little radio talk show going. We'll be launching that pretty soon, maybe a podcast. But to wrap it all up, just get today's Wall Street Journal. Read this article in the second I don't know what you would call it. The second portion. There you go. Second portion of the Wall Street Journal called Marketplace. There it is, Russell Gold's article. That's it for the bells of Boom U. Also, go get you a Daily Oklahoma. That's always great to look at for the local produce, the local news. And leave you on this note that 2015, right here from Boom U, will be a wonderful year to see how we weather the slowdown in the boom. From 100 barrels per hour to less than 50 barrels per hour. And yet, Boom U, I bet, will be fine and dandy, because the prez of Boom U, David Bourne, is pretty well plugged in and moving and shaking. We're almost at 9 minutes, which by law, if you last 9 minutes into this show, you have to wear a parachute, pull the ripcord, and bring yourself back to Earth without any harm to yourself or others. That's the golden rule. And we're going to wrap it up, and we'll dump the next one probably tomorrow when there's more earth-shattering news. Keep your eye, by the way, on the Hank Ham divorce saga. I don't think it's ended yet. It looks like a great chess match, though. That's it. 3, 2, 1, boom.